Nope, it didn't work. Nope, it did
What's
just.
up? Are we live? Are we idiots and we're live? What up? What up? What up? We have not been drinking, folks. We have not been drinking.
That went differently in my head.
It's all right.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
we're newbies. Yes, welcome to the Talking Shop podcast. I'm Josh. This is Michael. And we're ready to entertain you, hopefully, for an hour-ish. Michael,
Yeah, that went way differently. We had just rehearsed how that was going to go, that intro, and we just decided to just make it awkward for everybody. Again, we'll get that smoothed out next week. So, just a quick rundown of the show. Let me pull some stuff up. The rundown. We're going to do the intro. We're going to rename the intro the opening rip. We're going to go through what is new in the shop, take an inside look at some of the shop business. We're going to do card from the vault, some listener questions, what's coming next, and we're going to actually end the episode with crazy stat of the week. So let's go ahead and start with the opening rip. And I'm going to start this one out with things that make me feel better about myself. So let me pull that up and share this photo.
Going to Walmart at 1 o'clock in the morning? Oh.
Nope. Everybody knows who Carl Yastrzemski is, right?
Sure.
The Yaz.
Yaz.
As he is known. Well, I don't think it's his... I think it's either his grandson.
Yeah, I think it's grandson.
Or great nephew. It's something like that.
He's related.
He's related. So take note of the last name on this 1960 rookie card of Yaz.
That's a PSA 8 too. That's a good card.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice. I'm not sure. There must be some stuff on the back there. We'll have to... How much do you think that's listed for, Josh?
It's a little off-centered. It's probably in an 8, probably what, $1,000 or $2?
Let's take a look.
Oh, well.
Whoa.
They're trying to get $1,000 or $2. Yeah. See, 3,500. They're trying to get 2,500.
Make an offer.
I wasn't too far off.
So that is his last name here. The product we just ripped last night, his grandson or great nephew, that's his last name.
Yastrzemski.
Can I buy a vowel? So, that leads me. So, and there's that one. And they had 2 chances, right?
Someone's fired at Tops.
They got, so, and the inside joke here is I am notorious.
I do have to double check Michael's spelling
for
all the
typos.
time.
Like there's probably 5 in the banners here. So, and I promise you, I'm not illiterate. I'm just the world's worst typist. I'm all over the keyboard. So I don't know if they're deeming this. This is from Sports Cards Daily. They say it's Topps error, but would you consider this an error card?
That's a true error card. I like error cards as opposed to a card has the wrong back or it has, an upside down back, or it's just super, super, super off cut where you see part of the other card on it or something. This is a true error card. Someone made an error when they typed this out. And I mean, it still shouldn't affect the value because it's not going to be rare. But you have there at the bottom your favorite error card. What about the Frank Thomas rookie card with no name?
Yeah.
So they printed that and some didn't have the name and they caught it fairly quickly. And so there's not a ton of those Frank Thomas rookie cards with no name out there. And the ones that are out there are pretty valuable. I haven't done any research lately, but I know that's the one you want when you're looking through old early 90s tops
Yep.
and you
Yep.
see
He's
that
in his.
set.
I think he's in his Auburn uniform in that one.
Yeah, I know he's at first base. I think
Yep.
he's kneeling down on one knee catching a ball or something like
Yep.
that. But
Yeah, there's one that's not. This is a family friendly show, but there's one with Billy Ripken
oh yeah.
with the bat. Well, you guys could look that up. I'm not going to pull that one up. There's some other ones. We mentioned Barry Bonds
Yeah.
last week, the 87 tops, which is not an error card. I can't even think of other ones, other famous ones. There's the Billy Ripken one. This one, I guess, would be an error. What other ones? And it's mostly baseball cards that I could ever think of. I'm not sure of any football cards.
Yeah, and there's the like the in the Randy Johnson rookie card. It's not an error, but it's got the big Marlboro sign in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and they tried to darken it. One of the Facebook comments says, "Isn't there an Eddie Murray in around 91 maybe?" Um, someone else said that is Yastrzemski's grandson, so that's what I had
And
thought.
and real quick, it says Facebook user, and I hate that. Let me just. There's something here that I'm going to put it in the comments.
Yeah, I think you as a viewer need to grant
Mhm.
Facebook permission to
Yeah.
your access. So like Anthony's called us the dynamic duo. Juan Gonzalez Donruss batting lefty, another user comment from
What I'll do
Anthony.
is I'll compile some of these and maybe post them. That'd be a neat post on
Yeah.
on the socials about famous or favorite error cards. I just don't think it happens that much, and I just maybe it's just quality control
Yeah,
or
see, I don't like the quality control ones. Someone brought one in today and it was a mosaic card and it had like I forget, Jalen Rager on the front and a complete Luke Kuechly on the back. So those are kind of like nowadays with the grading, it's kind of like you don't want the error, you want the perfect card. You
right.
want the perfect centering and the perfect everything. So I think back in the 90s when we'd see them, it would be like, "Oh, they're stupid. They made a mistake. This card's worth a lot." But it's always about rarity too, and I know there are collectors out there that just collect miscut error card stuff too, and they've got collections of just that stuff. So
I'll probably kick myself because he's a really good player, and if I could undo one sale, I would do it. When I first got back in the hobby, I was looking for a product, and this is back when it was in 2020 when it was fairly hard to find product in retail, and I was kicking it around in a Target and found some Tops Fire. And like I
oh yeah.
said, I had just gotten back into the hobby. I just wanted to rip something. And I opened up 3 or 4 boxes and found this Juan Soto parallel. I'll have to post a picture of it. I promise you, I'm not making this up. It was numbered 26 out of 25. And I didn't know what I was looking at. And I was like, you know what? I could probably sell this. And I did. I sold it for and made all my money back from those Tops Fire boxes. But watch that be some sort of a big time error card down the road. But I just thought that was. When's the last time you actually pulled an error card, Josh?
Ugh, I don't open a whole lot,
Yeah,
except for others during breaks.
right.
No, I mean not very often. I get
Yeah, you
some
can't think of it.
really miscut stuff
Yeah, I
sometimes.
think with the advent of just digital photography and Google, and there's just so many databases, you're not going to find. I mean, I'm sure there are players that are the name and the photo doesn't match up. I think I just saw one today, but so But I thought that was funny, and it makes me feel good that somebody's mistake is printed 700,000 times. So
There's
there it
the
is.
there's the
There's the
Frank
Frank.
Thomas. That's just a picture of it, but the no name. I was right. He's down on his knee. You were right. He's in his Auburn uniform, but
War Eagle.
I don't think there was a whole lot of that card out there. So
No,
the rarity of that really drives the price up to it.
there you go.
Up for it.
There
But
you go. Wasn't there a Robin Vent? I'll have to take a look, Matt. I don't know. My favorite Robin Ventura card isn't there one with Nolan Ryan beating the crap out of him? That's my favorite Robin Ventura card. So, all right. So next on the opening rip is this story here. Collectors Holdings leases 130,000 square feet in Jersey City. Collectors Holdings, for those of you who don't know, is PSA. So their headquarters currently is in Santa Clara, California, and so they are. They looks like they've purchased or leases. They're leasing 130,000 square feet, and I think we were talking about this in the pregame. Josh, how many square feet is the shop? 12,
we were
1,200.
thinking we were thinking like at minimum of 1,200, but
Yeah.
it's about
So
100 times bigger than our shop.
100 times bigger. It's a lot of square footage. And I thought it was like maybe a coincidence that the National is in New Jersey this summer. So I
Yep.
wonder, what do you think? You think they're going to be up and running, full capacity at
I
that
think
new location by July 27th?
maybe if it's not even full capacity, at least up and running. I don't think it's a coincidence. There's probably something to it. What I'm just curious about the name Collectors Holdings. Is that because PSA is currently holding half of all of our collections or what?
I don't know.
As-
I don't know. That'll certainly maybe that'll affect turnaround times. I know that mail getting from this coast to the west coast can take a little bit longer, so that would be interesting. I've always wondered this, Josh. Do you think they've got remote graders, or do you think all their graders are in house?
I think they're all chained to their desks permanently.
I mean, they're cranking them out. They've got what 700,000 a month now is what they're doing.
That's just unreal, really, if you think about it.
I mean, go
That
through.
would be if you could get a tour of that whole process, that would be super interesting.
Yeah.
When I was in the shoe business, we got to tour the San Antonio shoe factory, SAS shoes, the old people shoes, SAS shoes, SAS.
Mhm.
And we got to fly down to San Antonio and go through that whole process because they're all American made and they're all handmade in the United States. And I mean, seeing that was just kind of wow. But
Yeah.
to go through PSA's headquarters and watch the process and see, that would probably be unreal.
I mean, think about it.
Netflix show.
Yeah. So after the break, I'm sitting there sorting cards and looking at notes for the podcast for the day and thinking about PSA. And I'm sitting there sorting these cards, and I couldn't imagine taking that pile and reviewing them all. Just that pile. And looking, surface, centering, corners, back. What else? Yeah. And every single one of them, assigning a grade, inputting that information, and then moving on to the next card. I think that would be fun for about a day. I think it would be fun if you could say, all I want to do are numbered cards, or all I want to do is, but I bet you just see, Bo Jackson PSA 5s all day long.
And they probably make fun of you too behind your back.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure. So let me hear it. Let me see it in the comments. If anybody out there would do that for a living, who would want to work for PSA as a
be honest?
I'm curious.
And be honest.
Yes, I'm curious. And how much do you think a grader gets paid at PSA? I'm going to try to dig that up. And I do want to put this on here. There are tickets available still for the National if you want to go. And these seem reasonable based on how hot the hobby is. $25 for general admission, $169 for a VIP package, and then there's a 5-day early pass, and whew, look at that, an all access VIP package. Get in line for autographs. Now I know you have plans to go, Josh, right?
I do. I am
Would
going.
you stand in line? Who would you stand in line for an autograph for?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. What was his name?
A Heartbreak
A
Kid.
Heartbreak Kid. You'd stand in line for Shawn Michaels.
There's not a lot I'd stand in line for, to be honest with you. Dion, probably. Tom Brady.
Shawn Brady, Michaels. Definitely, right?
Sure. I mean, but still, even for Brady, if the line's around the building, I ain't standing all day for that. But HBK.
Do you think they're going to take graded cards at the blackjack table that week?
If they're smart. If they're smart.
That's crazy. I think it's going to be fun. I think
I'm going, so I'll definitely have some pictures and some stories from it. We'll do a podcast right after it with stories from the National.
There you go.
The Undertaker, someone said. Linda said, my sister said, yes, I would wait around the building. Depends on how fast the line's moving, Linda, but yes, you're probably right.
There you go. All right, so that is the opening rip. Look at that. That's like a 8-minute intro. It's a record.
JP's wondering if it still says Facebook user. JP, it does not. It has your name. Very good. You can follow directions.
All right. Our next part of the show, new in the shop this week, Josh. What do we got new in quote unquote new in the shop this week?
Yeah. So Donruss basketball came out. So we have that on the shelf in the shop. Pokemon Brilliant Stars came out. We did sell out of that in one day, all of it. That's a record. I don't know. We've kind of been doing that the last couple releases. They're not giving us the full amount of allocations that we normally get right up front. They have been doing it in waves, but wave 1 is really pretty big, and we still sell out in one day on the new Pokemon stuff. So that's insane. Magic the Gathering had the Kamigawa set come out. That came out at the same time, and we still have that in stock. It has been selling well. Mosaic football retail, some retail Mosaic football products came into the shop. So it's not super, super new, but it is new to the shop and on the shelf. And fill-in of Topps 2022 Series 1. We had sold out of our first wave of that as well and got some fill-in product of that. And we have blasters, hobby boxes, and jumbo hobby boxes. So really, Donruss was the only new product that came in on Friday, but it's good. So that's what's new in the shop.
Excellent. I just wanted, while you were talking about that, I did want to bring up one of the error cards that was popped into the chat, and for you guys that are listening to this, it's the Juan Gonzalez error card, and apparently they could not decide whether or not
I remember that card.
He was right-handed or left-handed here. So that is cool. Super cool. Thank you for pointing that one out. And like I said, I'm gonna, if Josh gets long-winded, and that never happens, right, Josh? You never get long-winded. So
who, me?
If you tend to get long-winded, then I'll go find another error card. But
every time
so that was new.
Story, go find one.
That was new in the shop. So the next segment I want to roll into is what I'm calling. We've been calling it an inside look. We're going to call it sort of behind the counter. Buying large lots. You were talking to me about doing this, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this on the show. I'm sure this happens, or this could happen a lot more if you weren't a disciplined buyer about buying big lots. But what goes into buying, or what do you consider sort of a large lot, like a 4 row box? I guess if it's full of
Yeah.
$1,000 slabs would be a big lot to somebody, but for you as a shop owner, what do you consider a large lot?
A moving truck. We did do that one time. It was a small moving truck and it wasn't jam packed, but it was pretty full. But yeah, sometimes over the 4 years that we've owned the store, we've purchased some pretty big collections. Last week, I did buy a collection that my sister's over here in the comments. I'm probably not going to tell the garbage bag story. Maybe not yet. Well, but yeah, don't put your cards in garbage bags. But so this one was 3 2-row boxes full, and it was thousands of dollars and thousands of dollars worth of cards. So I sorry, these comments are funny. They're distracting me, but what I like to do, so when here's a notorious tip: if you want to buy a collection, go to a card show and wait till the very end. Guys don't want to pack up all that stuff necessarily. They had, maybe hopes of selling it all, and you can usually walk in and say, how much will you take for, everything you got left? I know that gets done quite a bit. Then you're kind of getting leftovers, but if you're getting it all at once, you're getting a good price on it all. The other way to attack that is, and I've seen this happen too, people set up for the show, it's about to open, someone comes through and says, how much for everything? And they'll sell it all, pack it all up, and they haven't even really helped a single customer, and then they're out the door, they made all their money, and they sold all their stuff. So I've seen that happen a few times. When I look like this one that we just recently bought, the larger the collection, the bigger the discount you should get. And mathematically, the best way, in my opinion, I'm no super long-term veteran, but let's say it's a $10,000 lot and the person says you can have it all for $5,000. I would like to know that I can get my $5,000 back fairly quickly, whether it be, a chunk of high-end cards that I know I can sell and recoup my $5,000, then everything else that's going to take quite a while and may not ever sell is really just technically all gravy. That's all your profit. So I know when people buy, even if you're dealing with 20 cards, I'll buy all 20. I know some of these are going to be tough to sell or they're going to take a long time, but if I can recoup my money on 6 or 7 or 8, then all of a sudden I feel better about it. You never want to throw 10 grand out there and then it takes you 3 months to make your 10 grand back before you start turning a profit on it. So that's me. Obviously, everyone's always trying to get everything for as cheap as you can. That's how we're trying to do it. But you want to be fair at the same time. So this person that sold us the lot the other day had, I'm just going to 10 or 15,000, let's say. If you took a year long and all, by the time it all sells a year or two later, but wanted $6,000 for the whole lot. And so I think, oh man, there's a dozen cards in there. I could get close to that back pretty quickly. And then kind of the rest is profit. And, so that's when we buy a single card though. I literally have done this Saturday. A kid sold me a Joe Burrow just rated rookie. They're like $40. I said, I'll give you $40 for it. He said, okay. I grabbed it. I slapped $40 on it and I stuck it in the case, and let somebody come in and get it for $40. And that kid takes his $40 and probably spends it in the showcase or in the store anyway. Another customer comes in, gets to buy the Joe Burrow rated rookie. So, and then, everybody wins. So I've done that. If it's a single card or a couple single cards, my margins will be smaller, but I know they can turn and it gives the customers that come in the store something fresh and new to see. But if I'm going to pony up thousands, it needs to be a pretty healthy margin. And because let's face it, out of those cards, there's going to be lots that aren't ever going to sell. The Ian Book rookies, probably not, there's a chance, but
You just
You know,
you just
the
alienated
Jarrett
alienated
Stidham.
all of our Notre Dame fans. Thanks, Josh.
Hey, I hope he does well. If he does well, there's going to be a lot of people making a lot of money because I saw Ian Book pulled in about every box open. But
um,
Jarrett Stidham rookie auto, I bought those at 200 a piece before, and now they're worth $15 if you're lucky. And who's
if
buying
you're
it?
lucky.
So
I so do you? I know I know you can't. We've mentioned this. You're sort of not going to a lot of shows lately, just because Saturdays are just you feel like you need to be at the shop, and that's fair. But uh, when you have gone to shows, do you have a number in your head that you would like? Hey, you know what? I'd take that if everybody wanted. If somebody wanted to buy my whole table, is that have
yeah,
you done that calculus?
yeah, and it varies per show based on what I take and what I've got. But sometimes the offers I get are just like, I'm different because I don't need to sell it because all this stuff will go back and it will
Sure.
be inventory at the shop. So
Right.
someone who's like, man, this is just going to go back home and sit in the man cave or the garage or whatever, they're probably going to come off that stuff a little easier. Um, so thank you, Colleen, for the nice comment. Unlike
Yes.
Anthony, who's always ribbing me in the comments. So
And again, if you're shown, we're seeing Facebook user. Facebook user says that's just good business. If you go to, I think it's this link. Let me see. Yeah, that link, and just give permissions, then your name will show up. So, um, have you? And you don't have to. Actually, you do, since I'm putting you on the spot here. Have you ever completely whiffed on a big purchase,
yes,
and you're
well,
like,
yeah.
"Oh my gosh, can I get a mulligan?"
Yeah. Let me tell you a real quick story time with Josh. Since our intro wasn't very long, I can tell this story, but I bought a lot of cards. Let me answer Colleen's question really quick. Will you throw it up there? Because I don't have access. I didn't log in. So um, Colleen has asked, will there be a grader in the store on Saturday? So Colleen, Palmetto Cards is going to either come to trade night, which is from 6 to 9 p.m. this Saturday at the shop. Palmetto Cards will be there. They're not graders. They take your cards. They're a submission company and they send them to PSA for you. They do all the work and they contact you when the cards are ready to be picked up, or they'll ship them back to you. So they are a good eye. They can kind of look at something for you, but there's a strong chance Palmetto will not make it to the trade night that night. So we will be just collecting the cards and hand delivering them to Palmetto, who will get them to PSA. So if you have something you want to get graded, bring it to trade night from 6 to 9 on Saturday. We'll make sure it gets to PSA for you. There's no upfront cost. You'll settle up with Palmetto when the cards are done. But no one will be there that can do actual grading. Only grading companies do that. So Linda's teasing me saying I would never make a wrong purchase. But so I didn't make a wrong purchase, but I made a wrong resale. So I had bought this lot of cards, and in the lot was an Alex Bregman Logo Man card. And I did very limited research and I put it on eBay. I was at the shop. I put it on eBay. I said $300 or best offer. And I had hardly walked away from the computer and I hear cha-ching. And I'm like, why didn't they make an offer? And immediately someone texted me and said, did you just sell an Alex Bregman Logo Man on eBay for $300? I said, yes. They said, oh no, Josh. And like, this is pre-COVID when prices weren't so nutty. It was like an $800 card. And obviously whoever saw it was like, I'm not making an offer. I'm buying it at 300 like that. So there was an opportunity for me to make some money off the lot that I had bought. And Facebook user, it is not working yet, but that's okay. We forgive you. So there's been a couple times where we have bought here. This is typical of buying because I've had other customers say, Josh, I've done the same thing. This little collection comes in, you're talking 20 or 30 cards, and there's just a couple bangers in that, like a pristine looking Larry Bird rookie card or something like that, and your eyes get big and you don't want this little lot to slip away, and so you overpay for this lot. By the time you start really sitting down and pricing it and selling it, I remember on that one, this is again pre-COVID, and I think we spent like $5,000, and it was on like 10 or 12 cards, so they were big cards. And this is again when prices were not these nutty prices, so $5,000 was a lot to spend on a dozen cards. And I think by the time I finally sold it all, I got back to $5,000, and so that was year one. So I've learned something. I know now you just gotta bend them over and really. No, I'm just kidding, but I have to take into consideration that some of these cards are going to take a long time to sell, or going to take the right person coming through the door, and it's just few and far between sometime.
Right.
And so I'm getting a little pickier with stuff, but if it's a Mahomes rookie, you're going to get real close to full value. If it's a Brady rookie, you're going to get pretty much full on value at the shop, because they're probably only going to go up, or I'm just going to quick flip them and make someone happy. And so that's just a little bit of my limited 4 years of experience.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna move on to cards from the vault. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Go ahead, you go first.
So I have cards from the vault, and I'm naming my little small lot rated R Marvel characters.
This is a family show.
I know. So I'm going to try to beat the glare here. So there's the Wolverine.
You can probably get close and just get the angle. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, those Wolverine metal cards are awesome.
Oh yeah. And then I've got the same year of the Venom. I hope that Tom Holland ends up in that Venom, in the Venom outfit. That'd be so cool. And then Mr. Potty Mouth himself, Deadpool. There is a bit of a hot market now for Marvel cards. These I just got because I thought they looked cool. They're some of these corners are smoked, so I don't think they're great. They're gradable, but I think they're really fun.
I feel great of Bo Jackson 87 tops.
As much or as little as I know about Marvel cards, I know even less about comic books. So if I'm going to do anything non-sports, it's probably going to be Marvel, and it's just going to be the characters that I enjoy. So how about you, Josh? What do you got from the vault this week?
I'm reading Devin Fairfax. Devin, I have bought stuff from you. You know that I pay very fair. So my card from the vault is from last year's Absolute Basketball. So the case hit in Absolute last year were these glass redemption cards. So you can literally see through this card. It is a piece of glass.
You're such a topper. Such a topper.
My vault's a little deeper than yours, apparently.
I'm going to take my ball and go home. Well, at least mine is. Yeah, all it looks like is a glass. It looks like a glass frame for your face is what it looks like.
So upon closer inspection, it is Anthony Edwards. So this is in the vault because I think it could only get better. So it's a glass case hit, Anthony Edwards, and it's a redemption. So when it comes from Panini, it's still sealed. I haven't opened it or not, and it's a really thick glass card. So all these guys that come into the shop and tease me about the vault, hey, watch the podcast. You can see some tidbits from the vault.
So little offshoot, since I actually managed the intro better, would you ever grade that card?
Yeah, probably, and the only reason is because these ones that come straight from Panini sealed, they almost always grade perfect, like those XRC cards. You're going to get a 9 or a 10. So yeah, I bet you if you looked on eBay, next time I'm telling a story, look on eBay. These have probably already been graded.
That's 20. I'm gonna take a look right now.
I'll tell a story. 2019, 2020, absolute. You could probably put glass case hit or something like that. JP wants to know how much it weighs. It does actually have some weight to it. It's like a piece of glass. Just imagine a little piece of glass. I am bummed the case has a scratch on it, so I should probably, maybe Saturday night, I send that with Palmetto to get graded.
Josh, that's Anthony Edwards. Wouldn't that be 2021?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, 2021. I was thinking a year ago because we're in 21-22 product now. So
call yourself a shop owner. Come on.
How about while you're doing that, a bonus card from the vault? I picked this up yesterday or today from a customer. It's a PSA 9 Jordan 1997 Ultra Big Shots insert PSA 9. It's nothing crazy, but actually a customer of mine is purchasing this. That's why it's not in the vault, but it's not in the store because it's already technically sold. So that'll be what we'll do on that Anthony Edwards card. If our podcast stays in business long enough after we get it back, we'll show you what it came back graded. How about?
So I thought you were gonna do a giveaway. I was gonna be excited.
Maybe we add that to the podcast. People that comment, we could give them something each week.
So Anthony Edwards, I could not find. So there has not been a sale.
But of a graded one, because I know there's been
sales of the Anthony Edwards. I can't find one online. What I will tell you is if that was the LaMelo out of that set, that's a $20,000 glass card.
No way.
Graded
or raw?
In fact, it's it's graded. It's sold today. It's a BGS black label.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a different story. So I have pulled up that card and I see Anthony Edwards all over the place. So I think you're typing something wrong. But
why would you insinuate that I would type something wrong?
You probably spelled it Mike Yastrzemski. So it looks like they sell for the Anthony Edwards. They're asking like
February 6th, $410.
$410.
Yep. Yeah. And then that's down. In January, the same card sold for $660. So it's actually down.
For those that don't know, a black label is Beckett's highest graded honor you can get. If you send your card to Beckett to get graded, you can get a 10 or you can get a black label. And a black label is 10s all around, corners, edges. And I've had one or two black labels in the store in 4 years. They are super hard. That's why the prices are unbelievable when you do get one. I remember someone bought a black label card out of the showcase at the shop one time, and it's because, so there's the black label. See how all four of the subgrades, you get a perfect 10. If one of those subgrades was a 9.5, that card would still be a 10 overall, but it wouldn't be a black label. So black labels fetch ungodly money. And I mean, someone bought a black label card out of our showcase of some no-name guy no one had ever heard of, but the customer said, I've always wanted a black label, so I'm going to buy it. It was $20 or $30 or something. So
yeah. And
I've seen like 5 in my life. Yeah. And granted, I haven't gone around looking for them, but they're not out there. So if you get something graded from Beckett and it black labels.
And look, you said it. You said it. You said that it's in the case from Panini. It should be pristine. So
it ought to be. It could get damaged when they put it in the case. So JP's asking what number. It's number 22. You won't be able to see it. Card number 22.
All right. So that's card from the vault. All right. So a couple questions, listener questions, and if you have any questions, we are doing really well on time tonight.
I need to tell a few more stories.
Yeah, so throw some questions in the chat and we'll get those answered. But I want to, since we have trade night coming up, how is trade night different from a card show? Isn't it the same?
It's free admission. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, we're doing our sixth trade night this Saturday down at the shop, and um, just a little tiny tidbit history on the start of trade night. You can all thank Michael for encouraging me. I would not have done it probably without Michael encouraging me to do a trade night at the shop. So thank you, Michael. But um, my fear was with our first trade night that we were going to be down there from 6 to 9, and it was going to be 6 or 7 of the guys that are always hanging out in the shop already, and it wasn't going to be that big a deal. And so I would say, Linda, shut up. I would say that I was pleasantly blown away by the first trade night turnout, and we were not super prepared for it, and we were I think over in that little side, and so we expanded over to kind of half and half for the next one, and then we moved the shop back over to the bigger side, and so that's where it's at now. We have a huge turnout. Trade night. The other thing that was different from what I expected at trade night, I thought we would sell a lot more of the sealed product off the shelf, because I just thought you pack 50 people in there, guys are just going to be buying product, and it's just going to be, well, people really came to trade. And so I've learned that's a really cool aspect of what I wasn't expecting. But people bring kind of their boxes or their bags or their briefcases with their trade bait, and we have a lot of tables and counter space. And so we just let everyone set up, and people just kind of mosey around and can I check out your cards that you've got for trade, and look through them, and, kind of what are you looking to trade for? And it was really cool to see all the people that really wanted to just, interact with each other and trade. And of course we sell stuff too, so it's always worth it. And we do the break and we have some giveaways and it's fun. But a card show is it's going to be a lot bigger, because you got to have a room. You're going to buy your spot at a card show. If you want to put something out, you're going to pay for that table, where at trade night, you just show up anywhere you can find a spot to lay your stuff out, make yourself at home. There is no admission, of course. So there are a lot of card shows that charge to get in. There are some that don't, but it's free. You're going to probably, if you come to a Grand Slam trade night, you're probably going to walk away with a freebie of some kind, some hanger blaster or some, retail product. Obviously we can't give 50 people a hobby box or nothing, but this trade night, I have the old Plinko board that me and one of my sons made, and everyone that shows up is going to get a ticket to drop one Plinko chip, and we'll have some prizes at the bottom, and wherever your Plinko chip lands, you will get that prize. So your thoughts on trade night, because it was your idea originally, and we try to improve each one.
We do. So, I think, and you brought this up, I think at trade night, everybody's on the same level. Like, you don't have that dealer attendee dynamic. So everybody's on the same level. So it's not as, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that things with a dealer at a show are adversarial, but there's none of that. There's, everybody's looking to get the best deal, and you're not going to get your feelings hurt as you could at a show. So yeah. I think people are just more open. I think it's a little more laid back. We try to look at the calendar and maybe schedule our trade nights around a big local show. That way people have some new inventory. They're feeling good. They come to trade night. And I'm sure, and I did this a couple times. I went to a show and then went to the trade night, and it's a totally different feel. It's a little more laid back. And now, because this is our sixth one, I'm awful with names. So if I see you at trade night, and guys have it easy, we could just say, "Hey, what's up, dude?" or "What's up, big guy?" "Hey, man." And so, just if I don't know your name, I apologize now. But I think it's just a little more friendly. But on these same lines, and I got this question from a buddy of mine. What is appropriate to bring to trade night as far as cards go? I mean, what would you say?
I would say this wouldn't be a pet peeve because I don't get pet peeved really, especially when it comes to my customers, but I'll have someone put their cards on the counter. Are you interested? So I start looking through, and the ones I'm interested in, well, that one's not for trade or sale. So, I mean, that's cool too. Bring your cards to kind of show off, but you want to probably keep those separate because you're going to get people's hopes up. Or I'll see a couple cards and be like, "Ooh, I would gladly buy this one. That one's not for sale. I want to hang on to that one." So, my first thought is, well, why'd you bring it to trade night if you don't want to trade it? So,
Right.
but there is an aspect of, hey, check out some of these cards I brought, and we get to drool over each other's cards sometimes. But yeah, I would say bring the stuff you want to move. The other thing too is, like, let's say you've got a Juju Smith-Schuster numbered to 3. That's a tough card to sell. It's a tough card to walk into Grand Slam and sell to me because it takes such a specific buyer for that card. But there may be a Steeler fan that's thinking, I would love that card, and I've got some stuff I could trade to give up for it, So maybe some odd, hard to move cards that are kind of cool. But space is limited. If we had the space of an actual card show, I'd say bring everything you can carry, lay it out, and you never know. There's a listener question there from Sean. So the average value range there, man, there's been some big cards there.
Big.
I bought 4 or 5 cards off of Drew last time, and it was $2,200. I mean, and probably 15 to 1,600 of that was in one card. But wasn't there one of the guys, maybe he's listening or will listen, had a real high end graded Kobe rookie, I think. Or
yeah, I've seen some big cards. I've seen, it was a quad auto, Ronaldo auto there, big. I mean, so you're going to find some big cards there, but my favorite is watching the kids just roam the room, and it's so, I don't want to say cute because I don't want to make them think that they're little kids, because they're coming and it's a big boy stage. There's some dudes with some major cards, and these kids are not shy about, hey, what do you think about this? Are you interested? I'm like, I think that's important. I think it's one of the really unique things about the hobby. But I would say
it's all ranges.
Yeah, I would say from a dollar, I've seen 99-cent cards, and I've seen $10,000 cards at these trade nights.
Yep.
So
sure. I usually get hosed by the kids. They're the ones that hose me. They play the hardest.
They do. They drive hard bargains.
They start dangling Tom Brady cards in front of me and asking a premium.
Yeah, if I had any advice on trade night, is it's a great way to meet other people in the hobby. We think that the hobby is enormous, right? But if you lined up 100 people and asked them about sports cards or trading cards, you wouldn't get a like, oh yeah, from 85 of them. So to get collectors in one spot, just willing to geek out over cards, over pieces of cardboard with dudes on them, or women on them, I think it's neat. It's neat because it seems to be a pretty safe environment to be able to geek out on a hobby that we love. So
yeah, and someone private messaged me, asked if they could bring their Pokemon cards. I said, heck yeah, bring whatever you want. You never know. Yeah. We're in the process, the beginning stages of organizing a Pokemon trade night. So Jarrett, and Aaron, a couple of the Pokemon guys down at the shop, are interested in maybe kind of heading that up, and I think that'd be cool too. So, but even the regular trade night, if you got Pokemon stuff, bring it down. Some of the Pokemon guys will be there, and some of the sports card guys, I know plenty of them. They dabble in Pokemon as well because they enjoy
I think before we move on to another question or another segment, I think for me, I'm going to actually bring some cards this time, and it's cards I'm trying to consolidate a little bit, trying to narrow my focus down. And so if you've got some nice cards that you really don't quote unquote care about, and you want to trade into stuff that you do care about, trade night's a great way of doing it. So,
Yep.
um, any other questions? And certainly you're open to ask questions, even if we move on to the next segment. But I wanted just to keep that open. The next segment we got coming up is, and this is the longest list that we've ever had for new products coming up in the next week or so. So you want to go over that, Josh?
Sure. So I'm gonna the 9th, March 9th. What's today is the end of February, so we're 9-10 days out. But it'll be next week. Contenders football, if these dates don't change, because this last year dates have been moving a lot. So Contenders football should be in shop on the 9th. Origins basketball will be another good one. And opening day baseball. That's always a pretty good one. It's a lower priced. There is a couple on the horizon. I think these would kind of be more the week after, but we'll touch on them more as they get closer. But Playbook football and Heritage baseball, that's 2022. So that'll be the third baseball product out. Heritage opening day, and of course Topps last week. So, but Prism football, everyone asks me about it all the time, has been moved even further out, or as of right now, it's the 27th of April. So,
wow.
None of us can afford those boxes anyway. So like, it's ridiculous, but it's Prism and we're excited for it. But Contenders football will be big. Opening day baseball will be lower priced, but that'll still be big. And Origins basketball. So did I miss any? I know you had a little list there, D.
I did. I had we had Contenders football, opening day baseball. Did you say Panini Origins basketball?
Yeah, Origins basketball. Yep.
I have a question mark over Playbook football.
Yeah, that was like, I think the next week. Like,
right.
If this stuff was Friday, it would be the Wednesday after that.
Heritage baseball.
Yep.
Prism draft picks baseball. Now that's right. That's in their college uniforms.
That's a Panini product. Yep. So it won't be super expensive. It'll be autograph heavy and it'll look beautiful, but there'll be unlicensed stuff, but it'll sell well.
Yeah, it's actually, I opened this last year. It's actually licensed because I guess Panini has a license for the college teams.
That's right. Yep, you're right.
So they'll actually be in their college jerseys. And there's a niche for college uniforms.
And it's a way to buy that stuff without mortgaging the farm.
Right.
Because of that.
And then I've got a question again with 2021 WWE.
Yeah, so we do get some WWE product in when it launches. If you know me, you know I love the WWF. I'm not really a WWE fan, but I'm an old school WWF fan. But I put in for like the Topps Chrome and this finest stuff. I put in for the pre-orders for it. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. It's kind of based off of what we've carried in the past, and because we haven't carried those products in the past, like some of the soccer products we've talked about, Formula One, because we've never carried those in the past, we don't often get them allocated to us, and so we don't carry them. And we just sell baseball, football, basketball so well that if I would love to dabble in more of those products, but I can take that money and put it into football and keep that churning. So let someone else sell it, I guess, and we'll dabble in it when we can.
I love that the Heritage baseball. I think last year was 72. So it'll be the 1973 design this year.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see. And that Topps opening day baseball, that's the same design as Series 1. It has the opening day logo on the card, and they've got some different sets. I know in the past they had, like, you can put together the set of the ballparks. The mascots are a big chase set.
Yeah, we should. The podcast before that launches, we should really take a little segment and talk about that product.
Because I that's a good way to get, especially a younger crowd, into like building a set and mechanics behind that. So
yeah, I get it kind of confused with Topps Big League. I have to kind of mentally Big League and Opening Day they're kind of the lower price pointed early baseball product. I always get the two confused.
Josh, you act like you've got 100 products to keep straight in your head. I don't know why you would ever get confused about any of this stuff. Events, you've alluded to it. Trade Night 6.
Yep. And if you read the ticker at the bottom, it says Trade Night V1. So I found the first typo.
Oh, watch. You just keep talking and it'll be
there's what it's supposed to be. Trade Night.
I'll change it. So.
Roman numeral 6. But yes, this is our 6th trade night this Saturday from 6 to 9. The break still has probably 8 or 9 spots left in it. So it's 15 baseball hobby boxes. Come on, these are high-end hobby boxes. You got till Saturday to pay for your spot. It's $150 a spot. You will get a team. You'll get any cards for that team. Split it with a friend. Or pay now and pay the rest before Friday, but grab a spot. If you can't afford a $150 spot, that is perfectly fine. There it is. So that's the 15 boxes that we'll be breaking that night. Yep. The beauty of this break is,
folks, hey Josh, for the folks that are listening to this, can you just go ahead and just rattle off the products you see there?
Yep. So these are all baseball products. It is 2020 and 2021 mixture. 2 boxes of Topps Chrome Black, 2 boxes of Topps Inception from 2020, 2 boxes of Topps Inception from 2021, 5-star baseball, 2 museum collection baseball boxes, a tier 1 baseball box, 2 Bowman Sterling baseball boxes. Each one of those have 5 autographs, and the Topps Luminaries box. Luminaries is 1 box, 1 card. It's autographed and it's numbered to either 1, 5, or 10. So you're getting a guaranteed number to 10 or less, possibly a number to 5, and it's going to be a gorgeous card. So
I would suggest looking at this list of products and then YouTubing some of the cards that come out of these products.
Yeah.
Just shameless plug. $150 is a great value for what you could possibly pull.
It is
out of one of these boxes.
I was a little hesitant doing baseball on a trade night, big mixer like this, but because baseball hasn't gone through the roof price wise, it's still high. Some of these are $300 and $400 a piece boxes, and you're getting 2 cards, but because it's not insane like football, we're able to get 15 hobby boxes. I counted up, it's over 30 autographed cards, and there'll be some sick relic cards as well. Numbered stuff, so it is worth getting in if you can swing the 150. I would say like grab a friend and split a spot or something like that just to keep the price down. But we will run some minis this week, so if you can't afford $150, we're gonna run a couple cheap minis. What is there, like 10 spots left?
There's 10 spots left, folks.
10 spots.
Got to get in.
So, yep. And the beauty of this break is it's not going to take an hour and a half. This is 2 cards per box, 5 cards in one box, 3 packs in one box. This will take probably like 30 minutes to go through all this because you're going to stop and drool on some of these big cards. So,
all right. So you mentioned Pokemon. I do want to give some love to that and Yu-Gi-Oh. There are weekly events at the shop for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh
and Magic.
So can you just go over that for those that are listening?
Yep. So every Monday night we run a sanctioned Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. So that's taking place right now as we speak. Jerome is running that tournament tonight. So on Thursdays we do Magic. The reason we do Magic on Thursdays is Magic is notoriously Friday night Magic. It's kind of a thing all over card shops everywhere. But because our Pokemon for so many years has been so strong on Friday night, we've relegated Magic to Thursday night because that fits with everyone's schedule the best. So we do Thursday night Magic, Friday night Pokemon, Monday night Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's every week, and they are sanctioned events with an entry fee. We take the entry fee money. All of it goes to prize out. So the more people that show up, the more prize out there is. It's family friendly. We have all ages, and it's like $5 a person, so it's not expensive either. So here's another little thought. If you are one of our sports card customers, but golly, I can't make it down there by 5 because we close at 5 every day. On Monday night, they're down there till 10. On Thursday night, they're down there till 10 or 11. On Friday night, they're down there till 10. So those are nights that a sports card customer could pop in, grab whatever they need, and pop out. So,
for somebody wanting to get familiar with TGC cards, and they're actually playing. These are not trade nights. These are actual. They're playing the actual game.
Yep.
Can someone show up and sort of look and see and just sort of try to learn what these games are about?
Very
or do
much
they have
so.
to be able to participate to show up?
Absolutely not. We, in fact, especially with Pokemon, we've had many parents say, hey, my kids are getting to the age where they've talked about maybe wanting to play, but they're not quite comfortable playing. And so they will literally come for a Friday night or 2 in a row and kind of hang out and watch kind of how the tournament plays out. And then they end up jumping in there because they see it's not that intimidating. And we have a really good player base in all 3, very friendly. We've never in 4 years, I don't think we've ever had an episode where someone's, and I hear that happening at other card shops where there's a fight breakout or people, it just doesn't happen. You got to think these are competitive games with financial prize out. So, for that never to happen, we set an environment where that's not going to happen. And, it's a good time. So you can come down and hang out anytime you want. And get your bearings, or play ahead of time or play afterwards, or you get eliminated. Sometimes 2 people that are eliminated, they'll go sit down at another table and just play for fun. So,
okay. Fantastic. All right. We're going to wrap things up with our favorite crazy stat of the week. And you asked me to have something teed up for you. Let me bring
am I going first?
I don't have a crazy stat.
Well, mine's pretty good. So, all right. So this might be an actual crazy fact. Bobby Bonilla, who has not played since 2001, might be the highest paid player in baseball this year. The reason that is every July 1st, Bobby Bonilla gets paid by the Mets $1.2 million. And here's a little bit of the backstory why. We a lot of us I had heard that. I know that. So July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day because that's when he gets his $1.2 million paycheck. Back in the year 2000, instead of buying him out at $5.9 million, the Mets offered to pay $1.2 million every July from 2011 until 2035. So every year on July 1st, he gets paid that $1.2 million. He is 58 years old now. He will be, I believe, 72 when he gets his last $1.2 million paycheck. And this is what I thought was pretty funny. So last year in 2021, Bobby Bonilla made more money than Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who had an MVP type season. He made more money than Bo Bichette, who's a super stud. He made more. Bichette made $588,000. Cronenworth made $585,000, and Brian Reynolds made $601,000. Bobby Bonilla made more than there's a dozen players that are notable names that he made more of, and then of course he made a lot more. He made a lot more than some of the guys you've never heard of. But
goodness,
here's another thing. So I was doing a little bit of math. Bobby Bonilla last year made more money than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette combined. I added up the two wages for that year, and he made more than the two of them combined, just barely, or right about what they made. So because of that, there was also the reason the Mets did this is there was something that they stood to make a healthy amount of money off of. I don't think I still have that pulled up. I might have that still pulled up. I don't, but they were going to be very profitable off some deal that they had made outside of baseball, I think, and that even fell through. So they thought they were going to be able to have all this money to pay, but in hindsight, they're still, 1.2 million to the Mets in 2029 is going to be chump change. So there's that aspect.
They make that in parking.
Yeah, in hot dog sales at a game. So, there is. So JP's saying, wasn't Madoff involved in that? Yeah, I think that was the name of the Bernie Madoff scheme. It was something like that. They stood to make a bunch of profit off. So that's probably why they decided to do that. But I think everybody wins in this situation. I mean, the Mets in the long haul, it's not going to be that much money. But I thought that was a good crazy stat of the week.
That is a good crazy stat of the week. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys hanging out this long. We encourage you guys to ask questions. We'll do our best. But Josh, do you have any parting shots before we let everybody go?
No, just thank you, and let us know that you enjoy it if you do, so we can be encouraged to continue to do it. And have a good night. And we'll break some stuff here this week. So
stay tuned. See you guys at trade night.
Yep. Bye.
All right. See ya.